Hello and welcome to Snappy Summaries, the channel that gives you the gist of the best books in minutes. In this video, we'll be summarizing Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Success is often attributed to individual talent, hard work, and determination. But Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers, argues that there's much more to it than that. The chapter, Opportunity, examines the idea that success and advantage tend to accumulate over time and benefit those who already have an advantage. One example is the story of Canadian hockey players. In Canada, the cutoff date for youth hockey leagues is January 1st Street. This means that children born in January, February, and March are usually the oldest players in their leagues, while children born later in the year are the youngest. Gladwell argues that because the older children have a physical advantage, they are more likely to be selected for elite hockey teams, receive better coaching, and have more opportunities to play at a higher level. This leads to a cumulative advantage, where the oldest players continue to get better and better, while the younger players fall behind. The 10,000-hour rule is a chapter that explores the idea that it takes approximately 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to become an expert in a particular field. He uses several examples to illustrate the 10,000-hour rule. One example is the story of the Beatles, who played together for over 10,000 hours in Hamburg, Germany, before becoming famous. He argues that it was their extensive practice and experience playing together that made them so successful. Another example he uses is the story of Bill Gates and his access to computers in the 1960s and 70s. Gladwell argues that Gates was able to accumulate over 10,000 hours of computer programming experience before the age of 20, which helped him become a successful software entrepreneur. The Trouble with Geniuses, Part 1, is a chapter that explores the concept of intelligence and the factors that contribute to high achievement. He begins the chapter by discussing the story of Christopher Longan, a man who has been described as having the highest IQ in the world. Despite his high IQ, Longan did not achieve the level of success that many people would expect. Gladwell argues that Longan's story demonstrates that intelligence alone is not enough to achieve success. He then introduces the concept of cultural legacies, which refers to the unique cultural practices and beliefs that are passed down from generation to generation. To illustrate this point, he discusses the story of Jewish immigrants in New York City in the early 1900s. Despite facing discrimination and poverty, Jewish immigrants were able to achieve remarkable success in a wide range of fields, including law, medicine, and finance. Gladwell argues that this success was due in part to the cultural legacies that these immigrants brought with them from Eastern Europe, which emphasized hard work, education, and family. The Ethnic Theory of Plane Crashes is a chapter that examines the cultural and communication differences that can lead to airplane crashes. He begins by discussing the 1997 crash of Korean Air Flight 801, which crashed into a hillside on the island of Guam, killing over 200 people. He notes that Korean Air had a disproportionately high number of crashes and argues that this was due in part to the culture of deference and hierarchy in South Korea, which made it difficult for subordinates to communicate critical information to their superiors. Rice Paddies and Math Tests is a chapter that explores the cultural and environmental factors that contribute to the success of students in math and other academic subjects. Gladwell begins the chapter by discussing the concept of working memory, which is the ability to hold and manipulate information in one's mind. He notes that studies have shown that students in Asian countries tend to have higher working memory capacity than students in Western countries, which can contribute to their success in math and other academic subjects. He argues that this success is due in part to the cultural values and parenting styles of their families, which emphasize hard work, education, and perseverance. Gladwell then turns his focus to the sport of track and field, and specifically to the Jamaican sprinters who have dominated the sport in recent years. He notes that Jamaica has produced an unusually high number of world-class sprinters, despite being a small, relatively poor country with limited resources. To explain this phenomenon, he points to a number of factors, including Jamaica's climate, which is ideal for sprinting, and the country's emphasis on physical activity and sports. Gladwell's Outliers challenges the traditional notion of success being solely based on individual talent and hard work. He argues that success is often a result of a combination of factors, including opportunity, legacy, culture, and timing. Understanding these factors can help individuals achieve success beyond their natural talents and abilities. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to Snappy Summaries for more book summaries like this one. Thanks for watching.